Hey there, it's Vicki Marie, and today I have a Hobby Lobby haul, really small Hobby Lobby haul, and some chit chat. So I'm just gonna probably call this Hobby Lobby haul and chit chat. Grab something to drink and let's get into the Hobby Lobby haul first. So first of all, I went to Hobby Lobby. It's springtime. It's, like they had so many things on the shelf, and I'm just going to roll that B-roll while I'm talking today, and to sort of move us along. So they had lots of spring decor, and I love going there for spring decor, and I wanted to bring everything home with me, but I didn't, because I've been on this sort of I've been focusing on letting things go. And I'd shared a video a few days ago, talked about some of the things going on in the neighborhood, and it's just given us reason to sort of pause and reflect about, just making some of those big life choices. And, we're gearing up in a few years for, retirement and just making some changes, that sort of thing. So, we're being very mindful of that. And so I've been wanting to sort of go through all my stuff, and that's what I've been doing. I'm going to tell you guys in a minute a system that I'm using that's really helping me. But I went to Hobby Lobby specifically looking for some ideas to just sort of inspire me and help me to just get more organized. Didn't really find much, but it was just a nice, sometimes you just got to get out of the house. I'd gone to the gym, I was tired, I just really didn't want to come home and start decluttering and things, so I just, almost like just a distraction, I guess. It was just a nice distraction. So I did buy a couple of things though. I did buy some new dish rags, so I was really good. These are practical, and I feel like it's not adding clutter to my home right now. This is something I will definitely use, and I'm really into black and white, the buffalo check, as you can see. And so this is gonna blend right in. And it's 3 dish rags. It was $9.99, and it was 40% off of that. So there's 3 different patterns. There's sort of the buffalo check, then the black and white check, and then in between here is just kind of a black and white striped. So I'm always picking these up, like every now and then when I see them. I like the quality of these too. The brand, I don't know what the brand is. It just says Gift Decor, Hobby Lobby 3-pack, but I like the feel of them. The next thing I bought was some of these, and this was more for John than me. It says spring on it, it's for spring, meat claws. So I imagined these would be, I thought maybe John could use these when he's grilling and things like that, because he's the one that does all of that kind of stuff. I will cook a roast, and I thought this would come in handy for cooking roast, or a ham, things like that. I could use this in the house as well, but John could certainly use this when he's prepping the grill meat and stuff like that. So this was $11.99, and again, I got 40% off of that. So I thought that was a practical thing, and I did buy one home decor item, and it's a very small thing, and when you see it, if you know me, you're gonna go, yeah, of course you bought it. This 3 little birds, and they're just sort of perched on this branch with lots of little flower there, and just some greenery and some, like, a burlap cord. I'm just gonna hang this somewhere in my house. It was so simple, and yeah, so simple and sweet, and don't know what that is there, but yeah, so simple and sweet. And I thought, I could add this. So I did buy this, and I may go back and buy a few more things, but I'm really just trying not to be impulsive, and I really just wanted to have an outing. The other thing I bought, because I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she had bought some little root beer candies, and I saw these, and they're the Jillian old-fashioned root beer sanded drops. And they are really good. And at first I bought them, and I told myself, well, maybe I'll give them to my daughter. But as you can see, that didn't happen, so I might have to go buy her some more. Or she can come to my house and have one. So anyway, that's my haul, y'all. It was a really short Hobby Lobby haul. Like I said, I'm trying not to just go out and be impulsive and buy a lot of things. I've been using a system for a couple of weeks now, and I've been wanting to talk about it, and I'll talk about it more. I'll go into a little more detail on another video. I'm trying to remember to take more B-roll as I move around my house and sort of implement this, but it has really helped me so much. The system is called 5S. It is a system that came out of Japan, and it specifically was designed for lean manufacturing, which my husband's a part of that industry. So they are implementing this where he is, and there's a lot of information on the internet. If you just Google 5S, there are tons of information on this. But when I heard him on the phone, I overheard him, he was talking to someone at work, and I heard him go through the steps, and I went, I think I could use that at home. And I think not only could I use it at home, but since he speaks the language, we both would have that in common, and it would make it really easy to kind of get things decluttered and organized and clean. That's basically what it's about: clean, organize, and declutter your space. Now, it was designed for workspace, and so if you think of like in a manufacturing plant, let's say, for example, I've never worked in one, but let's say a lot of you, I'm sure, can relate to this. There's the work area where you want to keep things in that area, your workflow moving, as effortlessly as possible and as safe as possible. That's the priority there. So you want to be productive, but not at the cost of safety. So they're really, really focus on those two things. And I got to thinking, that makes sense for home, because whether I am getting clothes out of my closet to get dressed or putting clothes back in my closet after doing laundry, in that moment, that's what I'm kind of working on, and that is one area that I could kind of take this and implement it in. And then also in the kitchen area is a really good example. When you're cooking, you do these processes that you repeat over and over and over on a regular basis, and and so for me, like, decluttering is not the hard part. Decluttering, cleaning, those things are easy, and organizing even. It's sustaining it. It is maintaining it and sustaining it that is really the most difficult thing. And I have bought so many books and watched videos and I've taken classes. I can get so much, I can go out there and I have so much fun reading about all these wonderful processes. And if you followed my vlog, you probably have heard me talk about that a little bit. Well, yeah, that's fun. That planning part is I love planning. I love planning, but you have to walk it out. And when you're planning, you're up in your head, and anything's possible when you're up there. Anything's possible. But then you have to think, is it really possible for me to not only accomplish this, but to maintain it? And if not, it's kind of a waste to keep trying new things all the time. And then you don't implement them, you don't sustain them, and then you have to start all over. That has happened to me more than once. So this, it's 5S, there's 5 words, and I'm gonna go very briefly into it. There are 5 Japanese words that I cannot say, and I'm not even gonna try. But basically, the 5 words can be translated into 5 English words that I can understand. So that's what we're going to focus on. The first one is sort. Step 1, you take your space and you sort out what belongs, what doesn't belong. It's pretty easy. So I've been using that in my home. I've been looking, like when I walk into the kitchen, there's stuff on the counter. What belongs on the counter? What doesn't belong on the counter? That's really easy. I handle the things that don't belong on the counter. That's the easy part. Now, when I go into my laundry room, and or not laundry room, for me right now, it's the towel closet in the bathroom. I open that up, and it's kind of, it needs to be decluttered. So there's a lot of items in there that really do not belong. You kind of define that for yourself, but basically, if you don't use something on a regular basis in that spot, and it's not long-term storage, then it needs to be moved from that area and into maybe a longer-term storage. My closet, in my linen closet, for me, I want it to be functioning as easily as possible. I don't want to use my linen closet as long-term storage. I have a overflow pantry and laundry room area that's more of my long-term storage, and a few other places in my home. So I'm being more mindful, like, what am I using the space for? What belongs there? What am I using on a regular basis? And things that I do not use on a regular basis, I'm removing there. I'm removing those from the space. And so that's sorting. And then once you sort the space, you go to number 2, which is, okay, there's sort, straighten. So once you sort, you move to number 2, which is straighten, or some people call simplify. So then you organize what's left. So everything that belongs there, you organize it. That means you might label it, put it in, contain it into like containers that make sense for you, and label it so that it's easy for you to do the work that you need to do in that space, to function in that space. I'm a very pragmatic person. This thing is really speaking to me. So you straighten it. And then the 3rd step, so you sort, then you straighten, and then you shine, which is clean. It makes sense. And these are things you're doing pretty much on a daily basis as you move through your home. Again, I'm applying all of this to my home environment. So once I sort out the kitchen counter, and I move everything that doesn't belong, and I organize everything that does belong, and then I go back and I clean it. And then the 4th step is standardize. So that's when you really take a minute and you focus on what you have to do on a regular basis to standardize those steps so that you repeat them over and over and over. And then step 5 is sustain. So for me, I know that when I go in, my standard mode of operation when I go into my kitchen after dinner is, I clean it. It's easy. I move everything off the counter that doesn't belong. I like to maintain a pretty decluttered space right now, so I just move everything off the counter. I have a few things like my bread maker I pull out now and then, my Instant Pot I pull out now and then, but they don't stay on my counter because I don't use them every day or even every week. So if I use things at least once a week, I'm gonna try to leave it out. Like my coffee pot, that's got to stay out. I use that several times a day. And my air fryer now stays out mainly because it's so big. It's hard for me to move it around, so I do leave that. But I did remove the toaster oven and replace the toaster oven that I had with the air fryer. And I'm really happy with that decision, and I've learned how to make baked potatoes in the toaster oven. So I'll show you guys that in an upcoming video. I think I filmed some footage over the weekend. But what I'm working on is just really moving throughout my home and moving throughout each room and each space, and making sure that I'm sorting what belongs, what doesn't belong. I'm straightening up what does belong and organizing that. I'm cleaning it, and then make sure I have a standard, like standardize it. And like for me, I have a lot of reminders in my phone that go off to remind me to do certain things. That's one way that I standardize it. One way that I standardize my refrigerator, for example, with the system, is I've created a sort of a routine for myself before I go to the grocery store every week, and usually do my Walmart pickup where I pick up kind of the perishables and those types of things. Before I go through my refrigerator and I remove and sort out anything that doesn't belong, any old food, any leftovers that need to go away or need to be frozen. I handle that. Then I organize what's left. Then I clean it. If you do it once a week and you think of it like this, it doesn't take any time at all. Then I go to the store and I get the food and I come home and I put it all away, and then I'm ready, Now that's not the deep cleaning. I still rely on Fly Lady a lot, some of those zone cleanings to kind of do some of the deeper projects, I call them. But this S5 or 5S system is really helping me move through my day just effortlessly, and I've like these things are getting ingrained in my mind. So as I'm looking around my house, it's easy for me to identify very quickly if something needs to be sorted or if it needs to be straightened or cleaned, shined. It's very easy for me to do that. So almost having the system to kind of remember and use that and hold up throughout my day is almost enough to help me to sustain it. So it's been a game changer for me, and I'm implementing it in my home right now, and I'm going to continue to kind of talk to you about that as I move through, and I'll let you know what I think. But I'm simplifying it. But there's a lot of information on the internet about this 5S system, and a lot of people are implementing it into their homes, and some people are saying, you know, it's actually not as simple as what we are using it, you know, like there's more to it than what I'm telling you on this video. There's more to it. But the way I see it is this: I've grabbed on to what's working for me. I'm not in a manufacturing plant, lean manufacturing. I'm in my home. These 5 steps are so easy to remember, and you know, if something's working for me, then I'm gonna use it. So right now it's working for me, and I'm gonna keep it simple. I don't want anything too complicated. I really have just simplified my life. I don't want to be, you know, like I've said before, I don't want to spend hours and hours maintaining a complicated system at home. I want to free myself from all of that and just get it done. And so I'm really enjoying a more simple, minimalistic life right now, I would say. And the more I'm doing it, the less like I'm getting triggered when I go to Hobby Lobby and wanting to buy stuff. It almost felt really good. Like it did feel really good when I walked out of Hobby Lobby yesterday and I had like 4 items. Because there were several things I picked up and looked at, and I thought, oh, this would look good here, or this would look good there. But when I got home and I started looking around my home, I realized, gosh, you know, I don't think I really needed any of the things that I'd picked up and considered. And there was a time in my life when I probably would have bought more of that stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just like a quick fix. It makes me feel good to buy cute little things, but slowly I'm feeling this sort of change, and I'm shifting into a more simple and minimal way of doing my life. For now, I'm really enjoying it. That is not to say that come a couple months, I might have this a really big haul. You guys might see that, so I'll keep you posted. I want to thank you so much for being here. Let me know if there's anything that you're taking away from anything I've said that is helpful. And if you have any questions, or if you have any comments or any tips and tricks for me, please let me know. I'm always open to learning from you. If you think you have a suggestion for me, I very much appreciate those. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.
About the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on